Evelyn to Philip, August 8, 1944. My sweet, although I had time to write last night, I was definitely not in the mood and decided to skip the one day. Yesterday was a good one, but definitely, for I received 3 letters from you, sweet, those of 28, 29, and 30 July, the last being your very cute poem, and a letter from Jack N., which I am enclosing. Somehow, and I don't think I have to tell you why, I'm terribly disgusted with Jack. I'm very free-minded, but I can't see his going with anyone but a Jew. Every time I think of his mother, well, I'm so disgusted that I think I'm going to write and tell him what I think. He never listened to anyone in that respect anyway, so I might just as well be truthful about it. If I have time, I'll write. If not, well, that's that. Today your letter of August 1st arrived, advising me of the bond drive. It was too late for me to get any money off today, but I shall attempt to get it off tomorrow. I think my mom is good for a $100 bond, and it won't hurt for us to add a $100 bond to our collection. I think Harry and Goldie might also buy one. I only hope the money will reach you in good time. Lots of luck, sweet. All your letters were mighty sweet, baby, and I've read and reread them many times since I received them. I'm glad I set you straight on the GI Bill of Rights and that you enjoyed going my way. Your letters, for the most part, dealt with what we would do when you get back, and I'm a most interested listener. Yes, I guess we would rather have a secluded cabin instead of indulging in sports at a camp. I think you'll find me most receptive to any ideas you may have. Page 2. Mr. Chase was here for a short while yesterday morning, stopping here only long enough to say hello before leaving for home. He was at Brown's Mills for a few weeks. He sends his best, as usual. Diana's crib and chest arrived today, and it's quite attractive. I imagined it would be a lot nicer than it really is, but I guess I was expecting too much. It's a dead white with several little figures on it, and it's plain. Considering what they paid for it, it isn't bad at all. Diana is very happy in her new crib, because she didn't have sufficient room to move about in her pee-wee crib. She's a very active lassie considering what Adele was like. Her hair is coming back dark, but I still think it will change. I may be wrong because she is very dark complected, and it may be that she'll be a brunette after all. I called Dot to see if she would be interested in buying a bond, and learned that Snuff is definitely leaving August 18th. When I was out at Dot's, we asked the Ouija board about it, and the Ouija board said August 17th. Do you know, sweet, that 3 of the questions we asked the Ouija board were correct? I pray to God it is not right about your homecoming, which it said would be November 14th, 1945. I told you we had a scorcher of a day on Saturday. Well, sweet, yesterday and today we nearly froze, and it was a sheer pleasure. The paper said a freak storm passed Philly, and it dropped the temperature from 97 to 77. It's getting a bit warmer this evening, and undoubtedly we'll be roasting soon again. I forgot to mention that I called both Dot and Mike yesterday. Dot had promised to come up this weekend, but now that is all off to a more appropriate time. Mike works from 6 to 6 and has to get up at 5. He doesn't get home till after 7 in the evening, so he hasn't much time for anything. I suggested that page 3 would be better if they could come here, and it might be that they'll be out to see us this coming weekend, providing Mike doesn't have to work. They have a small 3-room apartment, and I think I would inconvenience them too much if I took Adele out. At any rate, I'm sure we'll get together in the near future. When I finished talking to both Dot and Mike, it was rather late, and I had lost all taste for letter writing. I hope you won't mind too much, honey. I was very busy at work yesterday and today, and the time flies unnoticeably. Gosh, tomorrow is Wednesday and the week will soon be over. If only I could look forward to your homecoming. Phil, dear, I love you so much. Oh yes, Mom is going to a wedding on Saturday. Morty finally got his furlough and will be home tomorrow. To make a long story short, Cookie and Morty will be married on Saturday. Formal wedding, reception, and all. Our daughter, I'm sorry to report, is very cute, but very, very naughty. Phil, she is getting out of hand terribly. She does not hear, that is, she doesn't want to, and she loves to be spiteful. Tonight, both points landed her a licking. Immediately after, she was a perfect little angel. Kids is the craziest people. For instance, when I take her to Faye's house where Mark crawls all over, Adele will purposely step on his hand and make him cry. What's more, she handles everything in sight and will not listen to me when I tell her please not to touch. 9 times out of 10, she won't listen till I smack her hand or tussie. I guess it's just one of the age 4 stages they go through. But I'll be mighty happy when this one is over. Otherwise, she is good, and I can't complain when it comes to eating and sleeping. I'd better shut my big mouth before something happens. Every time I say she's good, she decides to be bad. So there I am. Well, we'll just compromise and say her behavior is fair, okay? I have a few other things to do before I can hit the hay, so I guess I shall call it a day. Oh yes, there is a soldier in full battle dress on guard in every single bus, subway, L, trolley, and what have you, and it gives me the creeps every time I look at one of them. They are even stationed in the subway and L stations. The strike ended 2 days ago, but they will remain for a few days just in case anyone has any bright ideas. What a city. Philly. Time to go now, baby, much as I hate to, but all good things must come to an end. It's time some of the bad ones did. So I'll sign off with a big hug, a long kiss, and a sigh. Your Ev. P.S. I thought your poem of July 30th clever, and it did very nicely in place of a letter. You certainly are full of bright ideas. I adore you, honey. Letter V-mail from Dot Cohen to Phil, August 7th, 1944. Dear Phil, here I am again. I'm still waiting for a letter from you, but I understand you must be busy. Snuff got his notice today. He leaves August 18th. He doesn't know what branch he will get, as they don't tell you until you leave. I spoke to Ev last night, and I promised her I would stop out this weekend, but now I'll wait until he leaves. The PTC strike was settled finally. They have soldiers riding on all trolleys and buses with full packs, loaded guns, and steel helmets. They really look like they mean business. You'll have to excuse the short letter this time, but I just wanted you to know about Snuff. Affectionately yours, Dot.